Hey, what's up, beautiful people? What is happening, sexy people? Welcome to another episode of Nights with NICCI. You guys, please let me know if you can hear me okay. Please give me a thumbs up. Hey, OG, I see you. Roland Walker, I see you. What's going on, sexy people? We got a really good show tonight planned for y'all. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. There has been an influx of things to discuss on this here evening. I see you, Yoli B. I see you, Gag for Your Life. I see you, Letha Robinson Smith. I see you, Business Bully. Yes, Business Bully. I have not forgotten. If in case you don't know, which I'm sure you may. It's been a very eventful few months for me, but we will definitely chit chat for sure because we're doing some really cool things. And yeah, hi Gloria, Hey Ronnie Head, welcome in. You guys make sure when you're coming in to check us out on any of the platforms, you make sure, please, if you will, you hit like, share, and subscribe. Can you guys hear me okay over there? Because I have two different mics on. So I just want to make sure that one isn't canceling out the other, because we want to make sure that we give our folks over on TikTok a great listening experience as well as a great viewing experience. So can I get some hearts if you guys can hear me on TikTok? Can you guys give me some hearts? And also, not just on TikTok, we are simulcasting. It looks like we got some folks over there on Twitter. I'm sorry, I keep calling it Twitter. It's really actually X. Face, turquoise, eyes, turquoise, covering eye. I don't know what's going on, babe, but there's something going on. I have no idea. Anyway, what are we on? LinkedIn. We are on Facebook. We are on Worth TV. You guys, let me see what's going on right here real quick. 1 second. Give me a second, you guys. All right, I just needed to answer something real quick that was actually important. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. It was a very important response I had to make. So thank you for joining us. Thank you guys for tuning in. Tonight we are talking quite a few things. I was going to share another story about Jillian Michaels on the show last night, but I have since discovered that some ridiculous sugar honey iced tea has occurred with Miss Jillian Michaels. And I believe, okay, I'm sorry. I thought there was an audio issue. I have since discovered that there is some other shit that went on with Miss Jillian Michaels that we definitely need to talk about. So I'll be sharing a conversation, actually a very clear explanation from one of my favorites, Abby Phillips. You guys, last night we talked about Target. We talked about the power of economic protest. And just like this net, we're going to talk about the CEO of Target who is stepping down after 11 years and the power of economic protest. Detroit Mayor Mary Sheffield. I'm sorry, I keep calling her Detroit Mayor, you guys. I'm not trying to be shady. Please give me some hearts. Hit hearts. If you guys can hear me okay. I'm still waiting to hear back from my folks over on TikTok. Mayoral candidate and prospect Mary Sheffield has been endorsed by Mike Dugan, who is also running for we see hearts, so you guys can hear me good. Okay, perfect. Just want to make sure I was good. Who's running for governor. Guys, let's get into this first story real quick because this is a really feel-good story, and I mean to tell you, I am totally inspired by this. Did you guys know, and tell me if you knew, because I had no idea, Jennifer Hudson. Okay, let me share with you guys. Okay, there we go. I'm TikTok. I'm doing something a little new. I'm giving you guys an experience over here. Don't play with your girl. I'm going to put the topics I'm talking about in the green screen. So hopefully you can appreciate the effort. I love it. All right. I'm learning, you guys. I'm in my whole social media etiquette school. So please bear with me. And please make sure that you share, like, and subscribe to this video. So Jennifer Hudson, as of one of the latest reports, allegedly, now I don't know this because I ain't talked to Jennifer personally, and I like to just kind of stay out of the business of talking about shit that I don't know, exactly the truth about it, right? But allegedly, Jennifer Hudson has never had a drop of alcohol in her life. Jennifer Hudson has never had a drop of alcohol in her life. Even in her career early on, she openly shared that she's never had a drink or she's never done drugs. She sticks to Diet Coke, Crystal Light, or water. She revealed this in 2013, which I had absolutely no idea. She did an interview with Chelsea Handler, and I know Chelsea Handler was like, "Oh, bitch, you ain't had a drink," because she's so funny to me. I'm a big Chelsea Handler fan. But she revealed that nobody ever believes her when she says it. So, question. First of all, a round of applause. Big round of applause for Jennifer Hudson, because Jennifer Hudson has never had a cocktail. And there is something to be said about that. Is there anybody on the live or anybody, please, let me know in the chat if you too have been sober your whole life and never had a drink. That's crazy. I don't drink a whole hell of a lot, but baby, I'm drinking tonight. I say I don't drink a whole hell of a lot, but I'm drinking tonight. Because we got some things to talk about, Ike. Oh, Gloria says, oh, wow. Okay, so on IG, Gloria says she has never had a drink in her life either. Come on, y'all, let's get some hearts. You know what? Gloria and J-HUD, I will take these hearts for not drinking on your behalf. Ladies and gentlemen, please give me some hearts on behalf of Gloria and J-HUD, who've never had cocktails, never had drinks. That's powerful. That's really, really powerful. And I think that that should be applauded, because that is a level of self-discipline, baby, that many of us do not have, because I'm not a big drinker. Oh, wow. Okay, so we got somebody on TikTok that says neither have I. Oh, so it's a lot of people who have never had drinks. She didn't even have a drink in Dream Girls. No, she said allegedly. Well, I'm saying allegedly just because, not because I'm saying she allegedly said. I'm just saying allegedly she said she's never had a drink. So that's just, especially, baby, listen, hold on. In this industry, in the industry that we work in the entertainment industry of the United States, of the whole wide entire world, you ain't never had to have a cocktail? Baby, you get a whole another round of applause. You get all the likes and a bada boom. And not just in this industry. If you work in corporate America, honey, if you're a human being alive today and you have never had a cocktail, you got that kind of self-control and whatnot, to God be the glory, because you deserve all the hearts. But tonight, y'all can give them to me. I'll take them. And I will take them. Our next story. Oh, how am I doing, you guys? Oh, I wish I had a better picture on TikTok. But our girl, y'all, we gonna be clapping all night. We gonna be clapping all to the night. Well, no, we actually might not be clapping all night, because, as the show goes on, we gonna get into some, skullduggery out here in these streets. It's some people out here doing some really dumb shit. But in the spirit of folks doing really positive, good things. And actually, tonight is a pretty positive show, actually. But yeah, it's some skullduggery we're going to get into in the midnight hour. But right now, we're talking about all the good, positive things that have happened. And Detroit Mayor Mike Dugan is stepping down to launch his run for governor, right? And I've heard that Mike Dugan is getting support from... Oh, you said I've never had a drink even when I got married, and I'll be 65 soon. Okay, you get love too. Hold on, she's 65 years old. I think, hey, look, come on, let's give her some more. She's 65. Okay, there you go. Hallelujah, glory to God. She done outdid everybody. I mean, so far. If I've been missing you in the chat, let me see. Anybody else is doing better than... Oh, wait a minute. It's possible. My mom only took a shot of grape wine, on Christmas, and she is 77 years old. Let's give a round of applause for her mama, who is 77. So look like she got our TikTok 64 or 65. Look like she got you beat, sis. But that's okay, though, because at the end of the day, what's important is that you have not put any liquor or mind-altering substances in your body. And that is just a really big deal. Super, super geeked about that. You guys, please make sure you do me a huge favor and like, share, subscribe is the word that I'm trying to spell, and hit notification, because I was on time today. I need some hearts for being on time today. I said I was coming in at 10:30. I might have came in at 10:31 to 10:32 at the latest, but I got here on to the time. So I just want to thank you guys for tuning in and showing up and giving me hearts. But let's get into this feel good story, because I'm super geeked up about the fact that Mary Sheffield, you guys, I showed probably last week. Doom da da doom do do doom da da doom do. I got the Spirit of Detroit's award. It was presented to me by mayoral candidate Mary Sheffield, who is just an incredible energy. So I'm happy to say that I am super proud and geeked up about that. And she is now in the front running she's a front runner for mayor. He officially endorsed city council president. She's currently the city council president, just FYI. And when I say that she is out here doing what she's supposed to be doing in real life, she did it before she ran for mayor. This isn't just something that she just, all of a sudden was like, hey, I'm going to get involved in the community and start doing things that mayors would do so that I could have a shot at mayor. She's somebody who's been actively doing the work, which is why she is being endorsed by the current mayor, who is stepping down to launch his run for governor. And his run for governor is looking pretty good. She's already leading the fundraiser and primary election as a front runner. She now gains a critical advantage with his Dugan's backing, because I believe that the people of Detroit, and anybody who feels different, this is a show where we can all just share our opinions. Y'all ain't got to agree with me. Y'all ain't got to tell me I look cute when I don't. This is the real shit. So if you don't agree, then step up and say you don't agree, and then we're gonna open up the flow to talk about why. But and I won't try to convince you otherwise, because I think what makes the world a really special place is that we can all keep it real and just say how we really feel, and we don't have to acquiesce to something that we don't agree with. But anyway, Dugan's endorsement highlights Sheffield's leadership during tough times, even though they've had some policy disagreement. There it is, you guys. There it is. That's what I'm talking about. Even though they have had some policy disagreements in the past, she's viewed as someone who gets things done. Detroit's general mayoral election. I have such a hard time saying the word mayoral. Let's say it all together. Come on, say it with me. Mayoral. I can't say that shit. It's another word I can't say, but I'm not going to tell y'all what it is, because y'all going to be like, yeah, big dumbass. But there's certain words I have a problem, and mayoral is one of them. Mayoral. Detroit's general mayoral election is scheduled for November 4th, 2025, with Sheffield facing Solomon Kinlock Jr. in the final. Okay, so she comes from a family of civil rights advocates, and, she's the real deal. And you know what? Let me put up another photo of my Detroit sis who's running. Well, I've adopted her as my Detroit sis because she's just good energy from the moment that I met her. And I'm trying to find another photo. Here she is. Here's her beautiful face. So you guys, that is Mary. Let me see. I think if I try to change the image on TikTok, then I might fuck something up, and I don't want to do that. But you guys, make sure you guys get out and you participate in this election. I am not a resident of the city of Detroit. I am a diehard Detroiter. I love my city, and don't get it twisted, because I spend a lot of time at home, and it's definitely Atlanta my second home. How about that? But you guys, please get out. This is super duper important. This woman has the everything we're looking for in leadership for the city. And I just personally believe that it is time to make history. She will be the first I think she will be the first woman mayor of the city of Detroit in the history of the city of Detroit. She will be the first woman mayor. So you guys, please support our dear sister, Mary Sheffield, for mayor of the city of Detroit. Okay, the next story we finna get into. Y'all see that? TikTok, how am I doing? TikTok, if I'm doing good, give me some hearts. Give me some hearts now. because I'm putting my little backdrops on my green screen so y'all have a better experience. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm sorry, Elon, I don't mean no harm. X. Am I doing okay? Is the audio okay? You know what I'm saying? Are we good? Are we good? Right, because we about to get into it. We only 18 minutes into the show. And we going to try to keep it down to an hour because, you know, but when you're long-winded like me, then sometimes it turns into that. Thank you for gifting me a badge, Dorothy. Thank you, Dorothy, and thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate you all. I thank you. I thank you. I wanted to give you guys a better experience, and I'm super excited about the fact that I know how to drop it in now. Okay, you guys, let's talk a little bit about this Target Man Down Code 10 situation. Situation number 9, blowing my mind. Yeah. As I'm singing, I want y'all to hit heart likes. Situation number 9, blowing my mind. Hey, that's for all my analog people who remember the good stuff. Y'all put a couple hearts in the jukebox and I might sing a tune. Who knows? Okay, you guys, it looks like, hold on. He out of there. He's a goner. He's gone. I mean, his career just went. Why? Because people of color stood together as one. We are one. No matter what we do, we are one. And the boycott see us through, we are one. No matter what it is. Oh, if F around and find out was a person, a movement, proof positive that when we come together in unity that we can make positive changes, right? Thank you so much, Nicole. I appreciate that. It is when we come together and we stand in unity to let them know that we are not to be played with when it comes to our buying power. So it looks like the Target CEO, Brian Cornell, will leave his post after 11 years. Now, I don't bask in anybody like now. But sometimes, you got to just say goodbye. And he will be replaced with Michael, I don't want to mess up his name, but it's Fiddelke. And Target's current chief operating, or who is Target's current chief operating officer on February 1st, 2026. The retailer declined sales can be partially attributed. Okay, we'll take partial credit. We'll take partial. Baby, we'll take partial. As long as you give us some credit. See, that's what I've been trying to get my whole life. Not all of the credit, just partial. We'll take the partial credit since it was partially attributed to competitors like Walmart and Amazon. Target CEO Brian Cornell is stepping down after 11 years in the role. He will leave his post at the beginning of next year per CNN, CNBC, and Associated Press. He will be replaced by Michael Fiddler on the Roof. Target's, I don't mean no disrespect, but it's a big name that I can't pronounce. Current chief operating officer on February 1st, 2026. The F-man has been with the company for 20 years and started as an intern. Be careful how you treat your interns. Be careful how you treat your interns because they will take your job. Hello. In a call with analysts on Wednesday, August 20th, Cornell said that his successor was chosen from a strong list of external and internal candidates, adding that the F person is the right candidate to lead our business back to growth. The appointment comes amid failing sales for the retailer. Per CNN, Target has struggled to keep up with Walmart, Amazon, and Cows to the Co. And I believe that those are places that did not roll back their DEI. But I mean, who knows? I don't know because I wasn't there. Notes that the competitive retail landscape emerged during the COVID pandemic. This is an internal appointment that does not necessarily remedy the problems of entrenched group. Ooh, is that shady? Let me read this one more time. They said this is an internal appointment that does not necessarily remedy the problems of entrenched groupthink and an inward-looking mindset that have plagued Target for years. Neil Saunders, an analyst for global data retail, said in a note to clients on Wednesday, Target, which used to be very attuned to customer demand, has lost its grip on delivering for the American shopper. We leaving out words and things like African American, BIPOC American, Black people, Black women. We're leaving those very important keywords out, but we are American shoppers. According to AP, Target, which has 1,980 stores, reported a 21% drop in net income in the quarter. Blah 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 blah. I'm not gonna go on and on. I'm not gonna go on and on and on and on. The karma keeps moving like a rolling stone. On and on and on and on. The karma keeps moving like a rolling stone because Stars done lost 500,000 subscribers and about $50 million too. So, we don't hear those stories very often told the way they're supposed to be told. Hey, Soror, what up? Sigma Gamma Sorority Incorporated. There's something really cool happening with Sigma Gamma Sorority Incorporated. September 29th, Advocacy Day. You guys make sure you support. I just want to throw that in there real quick. But what's really important for these major corporations to I finally come to grips with, right? You need loyal, healthy consumers, satisfied consumers who feel seen at the retail level. Now, in the space of entertainment and media, which, by the way, I had a really fantastic conversation today with the Balm and Gilead. I'm going to see if we can repost that conversation just because it was really, really, really good. And I want you guys to have a chance to see that. But, I think these retailers and these corporations and these streaming companies and, is my mic on? You guys can hear me okay over there? And okay, it ain't green, it's blue, but I guess that's okay. The industry is going to find out too. And I think the entertainment industry is already finding out. I think the entertainment industry is really clear that shit has gotten out of control. Things have gotten out of hand. And the remedy for the problem is what it has always been. We talked about this a little bit on the conversation earlier. Black women in these capes, baby. You know what I mean? We come in, talk about Captain Save a Hoe, All y'all had to do was do right by us and you wouldn't have to fire CEOs and you would not have drops in revenues or lack in subscription. And I think that what's happening over at Stars is just, I think what's happening everywhere is karma, right? It is the great equalizer. So I want us to all be encouraged in this moment because I was one of those people who was like, will we come together and actually do something like an economic protest that could be effective and make a lot of changes? And I hope I'm not offending anyone here by saying they fucked around and found out. So you guys, let's just keep remembering and leaning on. Please hit like as you come in. Please hit the like button so that the algorithm knows that you like the content that you are listening to and watching. Yep. Let's see what we got going on here in these conversations. It's possible. Okay. Let me look at the comments. I'm going into the comments. They are not slick, but he's still not going to be on the board. Exactly. That's it. He's still going to be on the board. They haven't learned their lesson. Oh, what's really interesting? Okay. So this is what this reminded me of. When I read groupthink, I thought about you immediately. That's so funny. Yep. Absolutely. Here's the thing. That's really some slick shit because that is what happened to me on R&B Divas. And I mentioned this a couple nights ago as well. The person who was causing a lot of grief for not just me, but for a lot of cast members was fired and taken out of the field, meaning not handling the day to day, right? But he was put behind the scenes in a more powerful position, actually, which means that he was in control of those other people. So this could be not a pandering situation. This could be the appearance of making the changes that we asked for. I'm just saying, because I question everything like the books say. If you haven't read Three Magic Words or the 48 Laws of Power, you should. Because you want to be a thinking person in this world full of people who have read the books. But this could just be an opportunity for them to appease us or temporarily acquiesce to what we have viewed as a victorious boycott by saying, okay, he out of there. Y'all can come back and shop in the store. But sometimes you need to just, wait around for a minute and see if they really got their shit together. You feel me? Because, the 52 fake out is the 52 fake out. Okay. Here is another very interesting story. This is a very interesting story. Oh, do I have her photo up here? I do not have her photo up here. Let me try to send this photo because this is a good story, you guys. Hold on. I'm going to try to send this airdrop to my TikTok people because I feel like y'all need to see this. Next story is oh, come on. Might not do it because let me see. Are you going to let me do this airdrop? Maybe not. Okay, I don't think I can do the airdrop, you guys. So, hold on. That kind of sucks. I don't want too much dead air. What happened? Ike? Yeah, it's not going to let me do the airdrop. Okay, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter. I'm sorry, X. They all have it. You guys are just going to have to hear it, listen along with me. And I have a photo of Jessica Dime up. And for those of you who don't know Jessica Dime, I really like her. First of all, I think she is just stunning. I think she is drop dead gorgeous. She is someone who was on Love and Hip Hop, I want to say. I think it was Love and Hip Hop, but one of those Mona Scott produced shows. And she got a really harsh reality check, you guys, when she learned that some hard facts about her illegal butt injection. So I got a couple of clips I am going to play for y'all. I really hate that I can't play this clip live on TikTok, but y'all can listen. This TV star is currently appearing on Botched. You guys remember the show Botched? I actually really like that show Botched. Botched presents Plastic Surgery Rewind, where, isn't that interesting? This real quick. I want to just throw this in here for all content creators. We kind of had this conversation earlier today. This is so important. Please hit like, please hit share. Like I said, the game is free. All I'm asking you for are likes, right? Thank you guys for the compliments on my hair. I'm not ignoring them. I really appreciate it. Yes, honey. She's a platinum. What did we say we were going to call ourselves? Platinum MILFs or some shit like that. Me and my best friends, my cousins all came up with because we just are embracing our silver. But anyway, Love and Hip Hop star Jessica Dime. Oh, I want to tell y'all something important. Now I remember. So you see how we see these shows doing the rewinds and the where are they nows and re-airing on Roku. Like you can watch a lot of the old episodes of your favorite shows and whatnot. That is the reason why ownership is such an important part of our existence. It is so important for us to own our shit so that years later we can repurpose it. Like a lot of the stuff you're seeing on WIRF.TV YouTube channel, which I hope you are liking and subscribing. A lot of that stuff is repurposed content as well. So you guys, and we got new content coming, but we gonna get the most. We want to introduce ourselves to you all by sharing content with you that we've done over the years, because it's going to only get greater later. I promise you that. And later means this fall, which is a few weeks from now. So the TV star is currently appearing on Botched Presents Plastic Surgery Rewind, meaning they're showing probably old footage or something else. I do not know. She met with plastic surgeon Terry Dubrow And he educated her on the serious life-threatening health risks that were associated with attempting to remove the injections. She revealed that the man who performed the procedure, whom she said was not a licensed doctor, gave her butt shots twice using synthetic material called hydrogel. Dr. Dubrow confirmed that hydrogel is illegal, explaining that it's banned and not FDA approved because science hasn't shown that it's safe for the long term. He went on to break down the reality of removing it. So I'm going to play the clip. I think I can play the clip. This is fair use, educational purposes only. And then I'm going to share a clip with you all from the bottom up. I don't know if you know this or not. TikTok, I will post this clip after the show tonight, so you guys can see it too. You guys will be able to hear it. But I want to post it after so that you guys can see it. So let's listen to this interaction between Jessica Dime and Dr. Dubrow.
I want to say his name.
No. I want names.
A guy who does it.
A doctor?
No, he's not a doctor.
Okay, so it sounds like illegal butt shots.
Illegal butt shots, yeah. He told me hydrogel though.
Hydrogel. That's a little bit of a disaster. Hydrogel is a synthetic material. It's not FDA approved and is illegal in this country. The reason it's illegal is because science hasn't shown that it's safe over the long term. This changes everything. In order to remove hydrogel, patients sometimes need very significant surgical excision surgery with a lot of risks, a very thick scar.
Okay, so basically, I hope you guys could hear that okay, and then I'm about to play a clip. So basically what Dr. Dubrow was saying was that hydrogel becomes super thick, super hard. It makes it difficult for people to walk. It makes it like it's not a BBL. It's not a Brazilian butt lift, which is where they use your body fat. And it's processed and it goes through a process or whatever. And we'll have a show about that too, because I have plenty to share about that. But hydrogel is actually could potentially be really toxic and cause a lot of damage. And I'm going to play a clip with you guys because on our show From the Bottom Up, and you can watch episodes of this show right now on, well, not right now. Right now, hopefully you watching my ass. But when you finish watching me, if you're more interested in this hydrogel story and how difficult it is to have it removed, I believe K. Michelle had some injections removed. Lots of people have unfortunately had to go under the knife. It is very, very dangerous. You guys, there are tons of very large vessels in your butt if you do not know. Tons of very large and very dangerous. That's a dangerous place to be playing around. That sounds kind of weird to say that, but it is dangerous to be playing around in your butt, especially when you're getting up under the muscles where you have the largest blood vessels and one blood clot and it's a wrap. So it's a very serious surgery. It's a very dangerous surgery. I think some of us were able to see some of the footage of K. Michelle, but I want to share this clip from the Bottom Up. If you have not seen From the Bottom Up, Kimberly Smedley was known as the Madam of Butt Injections. So Kimberly actually was sentenced to prison and she served time in federal prison. She's on our show From the Bottom Up. And she served time because she was the go-to gal for these butt injections. So I'm about to share a clip with you from our series From the Bottom Up. TikTok babies, I love y'all so much. I'm going to figure out how to share the video clips while I'm live. I can't share it while I'm live. So while they're watching the clip, I'll let you guys listen. It's not that long. But I want y'all to check this out. It's a very serious procedure. So please do me the kind gesture of hitting like, hitting share, subscribe, and the notification button at Worth Media. Oh, and our Cash App is #4Worth. And matter of fact, I'll put this sucker up here. Fight, because we are viewer supported. #4. I think it's what do they do? They do the $ first. $. And then it's fight, the #4, and WIRF. So if you want to fight for Worth, then please do us a kind favor and just leap on into that Cash App. And yeah, it all goes into, all we do is production and content. You see, we're about to do a drama series for y'all in a minute. Okay, take a look. This is From the Bottom Up. You can watch the full series, all 3 seasons, on WIRF.TV YouTube channel. Are you not gonna play, Kim? There we go.
So my girlfriend refers me to this plastic surgeon because I've been looking for a plastic surgeon that specialized in the removal of silicone. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm Dr. Dodds.
And I am Kim Smedley. I decided to take Crystal along with me. I felt like this would be a good place for me. And also, if I missed any questions, then she would be right there to remind me of some of the questions I needed to ask.
Let me find out what's going on with you and let me see how I can help you.
About 16 years ago, I had silicone injections. I had the silicone injected into my buttocks. Now I want to have it removed. To me, my butt is too big. I also need to let you know that's what I did for a living.
You're a lay person. You have
Absolutely.
no medical training whatsoever.
One thing I would let them know, look, I'm not a licensed doctor or a nurse, and whatever you're doing it at your own risk.
One of the things that happens with these foreign substances in the silicone family is that the natural fat tissue actually starts to be replaced by scar tissue.
Have you performed this type of surgery before?
Yeah, I did several hundred, probably thousands of cases.
The silicone, or was it something different that you were administering?
No, darling, I have a degree. I'm a physician. In her mind, she was helping people, and I was basically trying to put all these broken people back together.
You don't even know what you're doing. It takes years of research and practice to know how to remove some shit up out of there. And now you want to talk about you a consultant, but then you want to tell me about a degree. There ain't nobody gonna go from being a doctor to a consultant. Bitch, people that's consultants is saying that because they ain't doctors yet.
In 2011, I was trying to figure out how to catch people like you.
Who do you think you are? Are you judging? Because I got a problem with you.
I do need to clarify something. I've never done anything that she does because what she does is illegal.
Right.
So it's a criminal act,
Right.
and she was treated as such.
Selling alcohol was illegal at one point.
Before I could get started, Crystal stepped in. And honey, let me tell you something, I'm always up for a good read. So I was just like, oh, I just wish I had some popcorn.
Let's move past that and address what it is she came here to talk to you about.
You're in the friend zone, and she's the patient. So can we ask your friend just to step out for just a minute?
All right, we're back. Hey guys, I was talking to. I'm sorry, I didn't even let TikTok finish hearing it. They were listening over the phone. I'm sorry, over the computer while I was talking to them while you guys were watching the clip. So I was explaining to TikTok. They already know. They already hip. So, I'm sorry. So TikTok is going to rehear this. So I don't know if you guys recognized the woman who was talking to Kim, but the woman who was talking to Kim Smedley in the clip is Dr. Nedra Dodds. And Dr. Nedra Dodds, matter of fact, let me give y'all, some of y'all might be aware. It's really funny. Just like they said, you got to watch out. Hold on. Oh, wait. Is that the late? No. Hold on. Nedra Dodds. Okay. So she was indicted because 2 patients passed away, right? Now, some people say that the charges were dropped. So let's be clear. I don't know that she is still in trouble. I don't know, whatever. But she did, in fact, have a couple of incidents where it says here, everywhere I'm looking, it says that the charges were dropped. Oh, wow. Family awarded $60 million. I'm getting hot. It's getting hot in here. Woo! The family of the victim was awarded $60 million, allegedly, because of oh, wow. So, yeah, that is crazy. Okay. Diamond says, do you feel you got a bad rap from R&B divas? Yeah, I do. I definitely feel like I got a bad rap from R&B divas. Absolutely. No question about it. But what I have learned, I learned to respect the power of love. I learned to respect the That's it. I learned to respect the power of love and forgiveness. And I don't carry, I like to clear the air. I mean, we have our own media platform, and the whole point of this media platform is to challenge things that are lies and not true, and to educate and inform and inspire and hopefully uplift people and whatnot. So I definitely don't stay in the space of woe is me or doom and gloom, but I do feel, and I think everybody feels that way, to be totally honest. I think I can safely say that most people who do reality TV feel like they got a bad rap on reality TV. I have challenged people, and nobody has made good on that challenge yet, to give me 3 or 4. Matter of fact, I think I said 4. Let's go down to 3. Give me 3 really major incidents of me being like super bitch on reality TV, terrible lady on reality TV. Give me 3 standout moments of like me just being awful. Like, I think some people just didn't like the way I talk. Maybe I over articulate. I'm very extremely, when it comes to my sugar honey iced tea, I can come off a little like, controlling or bossy just because it's my shit. You know what I'm saying? Not like it's my shit, like it's my shit and I'm not sharing it and being cordial and kind and whatever, but like I've said a million times, if you open up a restaurant and you put your resources behind a restaurant or a business or a business of any kind, the responsibility and the onus falls on you. So you have to make sure that you're doing what you promised the people that you brought on board. And although we were all independent contractors and none of these women were like my employees, but they were my friends. They were people that I chose, people I selected for a job, and people I made promises to. So in those moments where you saw me coming off a little 1-2-1-2, you can look at clips now. Like, I just posted a clip. Let me button this up because I'm giving y'all a little look at those status. Hold on. Sitting up looking at my milk jugs. Anyway. There's a clip right now where I'm setting up flights and arranging transportation and doing all this. So yeah, do I have like a little bit of a let's get it done, get her done in spirit? Yes. But do I have a spirit of like ill will or wanting to hurt somebody? I just, I don't. Absolutely. I do not. So I thank God for the experience. The experience taught me so much. It humbled me in a lot of ways. I realized that people will not necessarily believe the things that happen in the moment, but how they felt in that situation. And I think there are a lot of things that go along with it. So I don't want to turn this into a R&B Divas rant, but some people come in new and, don't understand. And they're like, well, you seem fairly cool. What happened? And I'm like, well, I've always been cool. And the bottom line is this: we're a bunch of type A divas, right? Some of us are more laid back and calm about it, and some of us are more outspoken and straight shooter about it. But if you are commanding stages and you have a name that you've established for yourself and you have your business and you have whatever, there's something in you that is confident enough to tell somebody when you don't want to do something. So please don't believe that I was running around cracking a whip, abusing grown ass women with their own opinions and their own fire, right? That's not what had happened was. So that's the end of that. Okay. So yeah, I do feel like I got a bad rap, but a lot of people get bad rap for a lot of shit. And you just have to move on and grow and hope that God and karma will handle the rest. Okay, what is my next story? Because, we doing it all in here. I don't have a producer setting my stuff up like some of these fancy YouTubers. I got to find my place again and do it my damn self. And now I am a little lost, you guys. Y'all, we've been editing, and boy, oh boy, we have also been going through audition submissions for curtains. I don't know if you have submitted or somebody talented enough to be a part of this amazing thing that we're doing. But baby, if you can sing and you can dance and you can act, then you might want to get into it. Okay. Let's talk about this real quick. Since we started talking about television and film and all of that stuff. Did you guys hear? Oh, wait. You know what? Yeah, know what? Oh, no. I want to go back to green screen. Oh, no. I'm messing up. Okay, there we go. Boom. Booyah. Thank you. I'm learning. Bear with me, TikTok. Did you guys hear that Shonda Rhimes and DT as he will be called on this channel, beefing. No, they're not really beefing. Check this out. This is courtesy. Check this out. I'm sorry. This is courtesy of the Jasmine brand. Shonda Rhimes voiced concern over the entertainment industry shifting climate during DT's second term, suggesting that the self-censorship is becoming increasingly common among networks. You don't say. Speaking at the Edinburgh TV Festival, Rhimes addressed the recent decisions by Paramount and Disney to settle lawsuits with DT. It definitely feels that way to a lot of people, that there's some self-censoring going on. Despite the atmosphere, Rhimes insisted that her creative freedom remains intact. I still have the power to make the shows that matter to me, she said. She also reflected on leaving the Kennedy Center board after DT appointed himself the chairman, explaining that in my mind, it wasn't a board anymore. On Elon Musk's Twitter takeover, she said, I walked away and I'm not paying attention anymore, addressing claims that Bridgerton is woke. She replied, that is so cute. How people react and take in the show is none of my business. She recounted her rise in the industry, stating, I was nobody's Nepo baby. She also emphasized storytelling over algorithms. Tell a good story. That's what we should be looking for. Bridgerton has become Netflix's second biggest franchise, and Rhimes hopes to extend it through season 8. I'm going to tell stories as long as I want to tell stories, she concluded. Is she speaking facts about Hollywood being more censored to stay in Trump's good graces? Is she speaking facts? What do you guys think? So let's talk about it a little bit. You guys feel free to drop your commentary in the chat. Let's see. Letha says, take your time. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let's see. Where are we? My girl, Crystal. Okay. Boom, bam, boom. So the first thing I'm thinking, as it relates to Shonda Rhimes is bravo. I really think, having the power to basically tell them to kiss your whole entire ass. Chef's kiss. To be able to basically say, I'm going to do my stories regardless. I'm going to share my content with the people who want to see my content irregardless, which is my least favorite word ever. Irregardless of what you got to say, I'm going to share my content. And I think that is magical and amazing and dope AF. And I think that it lends itself to the conversation we had yesterday about how dope it is to be able to come onto social media and YouTube and all of these platforms. You know, she's got to deal with Netflix. Netflix isn't a big Hollywood network per se. I really think the days of the big Hollywood network are slowly but surely coming to an end. It's interesting because there was a book in, I want to say 2023, there was a book called Hollywood is Burning or something like that. Please hit like, you guys. Please hit the notification button. Please hit subscribe. Let the algorithm know that y'all are here for this great conversation. Well, I think it's great, but anyway. So Netflix and other platforms that do not have to have these big television networks who can make great relationships with creatives is fantastic. I say more power to Shonda. The one thing that I did question, the one thing that I did have like a little lightweight, like, sis, I don't know if you should have did that, was when she said she stepped down from the board, right? I totally understand why she would have done it, right? Because if he became, Big Daddy and the head person in charge and she wasn't feeling like being up under that thumb, then I completely understand why she did it. But I also think when we're given opportunities to be a part of, what general public views as prestigious, which I think that's changing. I think we're starting to realize that the prestigious shit is our own. How about that? The things that we create, the greatness that we are able to create. But, being in a situation where you are in an environment where you can actually make change and introduce a group of people who may not have the experiences with us that they might need to be more supportive, right? I think a lot of times, now this is going to be a little loaded, and I hope y'all don't lay into my ass too much about it, but I'm going to say it anyway, and I deal with the backlash after the fact. But, I believe there's a real disconnect in people understanding the impact of their privilege, even if they're not necessarily in their own minds, like actively pursuing being a Karen or actively pursuing racism or anything like that. Sometimes just based on the fact that you don't understand the journey, you don't understand what prolonged exposure to poverty does for our community and how it impacts us. And that, you just look at what things that are happening in our community, badass kids, young men out here doing extracurricular activities that are just obscene and terrible and awful. I think we have to be very real. It's interesting because y'all know we always start on one part of the conversation, end up on another. I wish Shonda Rhimes the best. I wish Shonda Rhimes the very, 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 very best. And I am proud of her for standing on business, because at the end of the day, Shonda Rhimes said, "Oh, no, sir, no, you will not put me in a situation where I'm feeling like you my boss or you the person in charge of me on this here board." And like she says, she's still going to make her TV for as long as she wants to. And let's give her a big bada boom for laying that shit down and letting them know that she's the second biggest franchise on Netflix. The one thing I can tell you about the people is it's going to be a little going out on a limb. I'm out on a limb. When y'all hear me sing, y'all need to give me hearts. That's the idea. Even if I sound like a cat on a hot tin roof because I ain't warmed up. When y'all hear me sing, that is the cue. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe, should we do that? Give me some hearts if you think instead of me asking for hearts, I should just start singing, and then y'all know that's the time y'all got to give me hearts. Because that sounds better than just begging for hearts. I'll be on, y'all gonna get every album, every song on every Brownstone album. Because the hearts matter. But yes, I'm giving in to you again, baby, baby. I can't do it. It's too high. I'm gonna give it to Lex. It's side Brownstone joke. But let's take a listen to Abby Phillips, and then we will get into this conversation because I want to share something with you all. I have a perspective on this. We're down to our last couple of stories. We almost at an hour. So let's try to keep these stories straight and to the point. I will try not to be my normal long-winded ass. So take a listen. This lady right here, this lady right up here, she over there. This lady. Hold on, let me put her up here. Damn, do I have her freaking picture? I'm sorry, TikTok. I don't think I have her picture to put up there for y'all. Okay, I'll just make sure I do I make sure I double check next time so I don't make this mistake again. So if you don't know who Jillian Michaels is, Jillian Michaels is the fitness trainer from the show The Biggest Loser. And Jillian Michaels is a woman who, like I said, yesterday I was going to talk about, did I lose the story? My ass. Oh no, I didn't lose the story. Yesterday I was going to talk about her lawsuit, right? Because she is suing Netflix, but we're not gonna give her no space to talk about a lawsuit because she has way more important issues that excuse me, that's rude. She has way more important issues that she needs to work on. So this is our dear CNN sister, gorgeous one. She is incredibly talented and gives us all the good word, Abby Phillips. And she had a lot to say. Take a listen.
Jillian Michaels, the former star of The Biggest Loser and now a MAGA influencer, was on Newsnight last week, and we were having a discussion on the show about Trump's attempts to influence parts of American culture, like the Smithsonian, like the Kennedy Center, and the arts. when suddenly the conversation turned to slavery and race, and Jillian argued that everything in the culture has become now about race.
He's not whitewashing slavery. So he's not? He's not. No, okay. He's not. And you cannot tie imperialism and racism and slavery to just one race, which is pretty much what every single exhibit does.
Then what really shocked all of us at the table was that she seemed to try to be minimizing the impact of racism and slavery on American history.
Do you realize that only less than 2% of white Americans owned slaves?
But it was a system of white supremacy.
Do you realize that slavery is thousands of years old?
White people
Do you know who was the first race to try to end slavery?
That's an incredibly misleading statistic because even the Americans who did not own slaves also participated in slavery by benefiting from the economic system of slavery, the political system of slavery, and culturally treating Black people as if they were not human. But Jillian didn't acknowledge any of those things, and that, I think, is really what shocked so many of us at the table. Since then, she's doubled down, and she's even said that she had reached out to the White House before coming on the show to ask them about which Smithsonian exhibits they wanted to dispute.
Thank y'all for the likes.
She acknowledged that none of the talking points provided by the White House, according to her, had to do with slavery, and yet she still decided to downplay it at the Newsnight table. Fast forward a couple of days later, and now President Trump is actually also downplaying slavery, suggesting that the Smithsonian talks about it too much and overemphasizes the negative of slavery in the context of American history. Here's the truth. Slavery in the United States was about race. It was about white supremacy, and it was really, really bad. Now, Jillian, like many other voters, is entitled to her opinion. She's just not entitled to her own facts. Jillian,
woo, baby.
Now,
woo, baby. Woo, baby. Woo, baby. Woo, baby. Let me stop this. Hold on. I'm sorry, you guys. Whoa, that Abby Phillips, honey. That Abby Phillips is the epitome. She gives the best calm shade that you have ever experienced in your life. Abby Phillips knows how to give you good, classy, and calm shade. Shout out to Abby Phillips. She can have her own opinion, but what she cannot do is create her own facts. And this is where I want to land. I hope you guys were able to hear that. I hope you guys let me know if y'all were able to hear that in my in the chat. Yes, get her, Abby. Gloria, we were able to hear it. I love it. I love some good shade. I wish I could be classy and shady like Abby. I'm just a little too hood with it. But yeah, I loved her delivery, and how can you not, right? How can you not receive the breakdown that Abby Phillips gave? How can you not understand the error of your ways and shut the fuck up and pay attention to the people who know, right? I hope that Jillian Michaels understands, and I read somewhere, I don't know if this is factual or not, I read somewhere that she has an adopted child who is Black, I want to say. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, somebody please correct me. But if you do, you have all the more reason to have a better understanding of the things that come out of your mouth when you have such a huge platform. Let me say this. We know that DT is going to do whatever the TF he wants to do. Right? We're clear. I don't know if you guys had a chance to see, and maybe I'll repost that because Christine was, and not just Christine and Darlene McCoy and Stacey J. John. We had such an amazing group of women sharing conversation about this. And I just, I know that we've checked out of politics, a lot of us. I know that some of us feel that, our party maybe didn't deliver the way we wanted them to, and we just all need a mental health break, right? We need a space to not have the capacity to really deal with the shit. But I think what's happening is in the time that many of us are choosing to take a step back and rest, it's a lot of stuff happening because people feel like we're so deflated and discouraged. I have to figure out, I don't know what the update on is with Nicole Collier, the representative who was locked in chambers overnight, held hostage, and I don't know what that is all. I don't know what the status or the update on that is. If anybody knows factually, well, I'll do the research, and we'll catch up about it tomorrow. But my point is just, it's getting out of hand, you guys. It's getting out of control. We've been checked out long enough. November, was a long time ago. It's about to be a year, right? And I think that we need to really engage ourselves in the spaces and places that we can. Not all of us is informed and educated enough to make really solid political decisions, but at least doing what many of the people who are saying dumb shit, like Jillian Michaels, listen to people like Abby Phillip. There's another sister who had a very eloquent and direct and informative response to it as well. Like I said, I love an educated, shady response to some shit. It's just so good. But I say this to say, we got to wake up and smell the realities of this administration and what they think about us and our party. And this may come off a little, some people might have a problem with what I have to say, right? Because there's so many things that I think have to go into this happening. But you guys, we have got to figure out how to learn how to play their game. I know a lot of people are like, shit, what? But it feels like this country is turning into a place where it's like a homeowners association or a property owners association. It's like you own the space that you live in, but there are all these rules and, certain things that you have to adhere to in order to be in this community. If you want to live in this community, you can't just go put a Christmas tree up decorated in your front lawn year round. You can't just, you got to put your trash can on this side of the street to do this type of thing, right? And I think we really have to start thinking about this in the same, and I know it's far more serious and detrimental than something as trivial as, a homeowners association. But I use that analogy because, we have to strengthen our community. We have got to accept where we are right now, where we live. You have to accept what subdivision, community, homeowners, place you live in. And you have to adhere to those rules until you are able to either move out of that space or elect officials in that association or run for office yourself. I mean, I hate to diminish it and dilute it to something as simple as, but I think that's something that everybody can relate to. Many of us live in homeowners association, property owners association in our counties and whatnot. And, people like Pam said today, understand what district you're in. We have to really figure out how to get engaged, and we have to look at it from this perspective. We lost the election, right? Democrats lost the election in last year, right? We are a year into this and we are learning that we effed around and found out. And those of us who showed up to the polls and showed up to vote and did our parts, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not our fault. It ain't my fault. Did I do that? Likes. It ain't my fault. Did I? Because if I sing or rap, I need likes. Oh, it ain't my fault. Can I get some likes? It ain't my fault. Give me some likes, please. We have got to get more involved in this process. And the more involved we get into this process, the more power we will have over the smaller things that are actually the big things, because they set the stage for. But when you look and you see Mary Sheffield running for mayor of Detroit, go out and vote. When you look and you see mayor of South Fulton, Carmelita running, when you see that there are people that look like you, people who seem like they come from and have shared lived experience and stuff. Remember how we talked about going all the way down the ballot when we vote? Get involved, you guys. We may not be able to change what is happening in Pennsylvania, with DT. We may not be able to just make a decision tomorrow that's going to change that. And I get it. I know a lot of people think it's possible. I just think the energy that we would spend fighting against something that unfortunately is going to require a lot of people who just aren't, like, let's just keep it real. I think the example of where people are in this country is clear. Shonda Rhimes said that she felt like some networks were basically bowing down to him. And when you look at the situation with Nicole Collier, everybody else signed those slips but her. She was the lone wolf. And as much as that is commendable, as much as it's just like, yes, we have to fight, I have to deal with this, the cold hard reality. In my litigation against Lionsgate, Stars, and P-Valley, I'm dealing with the reality that I'm very clear that I may never have an opportunity to go before a jury. I may never have an opportunity to have what I believe is my right, my constitutional right to due process. It is unfair. It should not be the case. I should not be going through this, right? But I also understand that there is nothing that I can do except follow the law, get into the courthouses as much as I can, fight as hard as I can within the legal boundaries of fighting, amplify what is happening in my life and career and for all these creatives that will benefit or either not benefit from this fight. And if I don't get through to the Supreme Court, if they don't believe that I am worthy of going forward, I have to figure out a way to put one foot in front of another and continue to go forward and do something positive and build from the bottom up, which, no pun intended, is the name of our nonprofit organization. I have to figure out how to build. So as Democrats, as Black women, as Black people, as a community that they don't give a flying frog leg about, we are at the bottom. I mean, they're wealthy Black people, they're successful Black people, but for all intents and purposes, what's going on out here in these streets really does make it very clear that we are at a very low point in politics and we are a low point in economics. You look and you see, hundreds of thousands of Black women have lost their job. The unemployment is ridiculous, through the roof. Well, that is how they do it, folks. Because who can fight with no resources? The nonprofits' resources are going away. The Medicare and Medicaid resources are going away. We know how difficult it is to be, or many of us have experienced how difficult it is to be a primary caregiver for someone that we love. And now we're going to have to be more primary caregiver-ish for more people that we love because they're taking away a lot of those resources. And we have been all up in the videos dancing. Don't mean no disrespect. I'm just stating the facts. And we have been champions for DEI and champions for getting these job opportunities and all that other stuff. And it's kind of like the concept of farming and gardening and learning how to grow your own food. It is so much more convenient to eat something that somebody else has grown. It is so much more convenient for us to just get a job that pays the bills from someone. It is so much easier to work for somebody who's already done the work of owning their shit. The employee mentality is the thing that has affected us for many, many years in a negative way. I understand that you have to do what you have to do. And I'm a realist. I know that people need jobs and people need employment and people need to work. But let's take Ford Motor Company, for example. Our community, and I'm not in any way, shape, or form bashing Ford. I'm from Detroit. Ford tough, hands down. No issues there. But my point is just a bunch of people in my family, my aunts, uncles, my mom, a lot of people worked most people in Detroit. Factory jobs came and brought employment and brought jobs, and folks were working them. And then when the companies decided that they wanted to take their plants elsewhere because they owned them and they could make the decisions about who they hire and where people work, the shit that we built on our backs, the automobiles, the assembly, all of that shit went away. And then all of the people who had, purchased their homes and were just happy to be working and have a job working for someone else, ultimately we ended up losing a lot. And then other things happen. Gentrification occur, all sorts of things. So my point is just, as we go into this next phase, and I'm going to talk about this tomorrow because, we already going a little long tonight. But I was talking to my grandson and, he wants to be a lawyer when he grows up. And I was like, Bray, I always complained about you being on the games. And I mean, he's just really a smart kid, right? He's just really knows his way around computers and shit. And I was listening to Mark Cuban talk about the future and talk about the curriculum in the schools. And yes, I think our kids need soft skills, and I think we need to, he's like wants me to teach them how to write in cursive, which I got to get on that, bad Nana. But my point is that there are all these skills and all of these things that happen that, in 10, 15, 20 years, are we going to be using these things? Now the chat GTP is around. Yeah, I understand. There are people who want to do it with integrity and do it the right way and whatnot. But I also understand that, the progress that other people are able to make through technology, we need to really be leaning into that. So should we be rethinking what we're afraid of AI, many of us. We're like, what is that shit? These robots running around on the streets downtown Detroit and blah, blah, blah. And my grandson said that, like, what? These robots are about to be everywhere. And I was like, yeah. And I'm like, do you want to be running from one or trying to figure out how to deprogram that motherfucker if it goes haywire? So do we need to be engaging our children into this technology space? Do they need to be learning AI? Do they need to be learning design? Do they need to be learning all these things? I understand that we want to believe in a perfect world. I mean, some parts of it doesn't even seem godly on some levels and whatnot. But in order for us to be able to compete, and this is the part of this long-winded ass explanation from the whole Jillian Michael thing, I think that we have to become competitors. I think that we have to figure out, I think the days of us like if we're marching, where are we marching to? Who are we marching for? Right? I think the only marching that we as a community need to be doing is marching toward each other. I think the marching that we need to do as a community is marching towards each other, to come together, to think of ways to grow and to thrive and to leverage our power, our economic buying power, to leverage our ability to say, oh, Serge, you want to get fancy on us, Serge? Well, we going to shut your motherfucking ass down, because we're going to stop shopping there. And yes, there are casualties of economic protest. I hate to see what happened with so many great, brands and so many great, I love me some Tabitha Brown. I love me some Melissa Butler Lip Bar. I love all of those places, all those people, all those amazing stories of Target's initiative to help. And it's sad because that is the double-edged sword of it all. I will say that this is where, and then I'm going to get into the Funky Dineva Tamar thing, you guys. I'm not going to be super long-winded tonight. But I will say this is where we have to really be careful, right? We really have to pace ourselves. And like somebody said, like my mama used to always say, baby, slow down. I just have moved fast my whole life. Talk fast, move fast, do a bunch of fast shit. We have to be careful when we celebrate victories like the effect or the impact of the economic boycott. We have to be careful to remember Target was one of the few retailers before all of the DEI rollbacks, right, that really amplified the voices of Black and smaller brands and businesses, and the partnership that they did with Tabitha Brown. It's crazy because it was all just going so well. Like every time we looked up, we're like, ooh, Tabitha got Doritos and tortillas. Well, not Doritos, but you know what I'm trying to say. Everybody was really into it. The marketing was genius. I think it was really a great example of what happens when partnerships come together and work together cohesively. And I think that was, a loss on our part because Target was one of the few retailers, right? I know we talk about Costco, we talk about Walmart, we talking about Amazon, but to actually put the products on the shelves and be proud about it and be open about it and be so supportive, but to go against that and to switch up is probably more of a crime because, you kind of led us into this space of like, yeah, you're here for us. You're going to do what we need you to, not what we need you to do, but we're going to work together and make this a solid partnership. And then you pulled the rug out from under us when you snatched back the DEI, and it made us look at you side eye. And that is the result of, you know, a partnership gone bad because you, and I think a lot of people rolled that stuff back because, you know, let's just face it, when DT became president, a lot of people felt froggish enough to leap into, you know, that little undercurrent of racism that they would have never shared with anybody else. So many people want to be all up in the videos dancing with DT. So many people are prepared to compromise and sacrifice and lay their shit on the table, right? And I'm not saying leave money on the table to keep your morals intact. I'm saying lay at the altar because of fear. Because you think, oh, now that George Floyd is no longer going on and this is no longer going on, we can roll back that DEI and be like, hoes. And then you learned out the hard way. See, I told y'all. That's why I told people, when y'all come on here at night, please understand it's grown people talking. Maybe I should do a poll. Y'all want me to stop cussing? Should I stop? I mean, you know. I'm not going to, I don't think. But anyway. So yeah, you guys, just I think this is the time for us to really try to step up and have ownership, which is why I come on here night after night and share my unsolicited ass opinion and spend time with you guys on TikTok, spend time with you guys on YouTube, X, see, I got to write that time, Facebook and LinkedIn, because I'm building an audience that I hope people will stick around. This is just the pre-show. We got so much great stuff coming to WIRF.TV YouTube channel. And I hope that you will. Somebody said, I don't know, y'all saying no, don't stop cussing. Shit, I ain't about to stop cussing in this motherfucker. I'll just say, let me drink, slow down. Can y'all tell I had caffeine before the show? Anyway. Let's talk about our last story of the evening. And tomorrow I'm going to get into the Monique story with you guys. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. I think I got this picture to give y'all some love. There we go. Yes, we do. Just had to put the picture of Tamar up on TikTok, please make sure you give your girls some hearts. Please make sure you give your girls some hearts. I'd really, really, really appreciate it. Let me find this story. So Funky Dineva, I got my red lipstick on. No red lipstick tonight, but y'all know what I'm saying, honey. So Funky Dineva and Tamar Braxton have been all over the press. We talked briefly about Tamar last night. And, you know, I still stand by what I said. Tamar said herself she does not know what happened. So clearly, if Tamar don't know what happened, and based on what we're about to share with you guys from Funky Dineva, he don't know what had happened was either. It's just a lot of people that don't know what happened. So we're going to watch Funky Dineva's, we're going to listen. I'm sorry, because Funky Dineva, one of the real YouTubers. So he'd be like, bitch, I'm striking your dick. So I'm just going to play the audio, but take a listen to this, you guys. And you probably heard it already.
I don't know what happened to the lady. We went out. What night that was? We went out. Saturday night. We went out Saturday night. We went to the Roof Chris. We ate. We had a good time. She was like, let's turn up for your birthday. We went down to the V12. Shouts out to Vinny and all the people at V12. That's the video y'all saw.
I saw it. I saw that. Did y'all see that? I saw it.
They're making a whole lot of noise. We left there. We all got in the car together. The car dropped us off at Tamar house. I didn't go upstairs. I went to my car. I went and met James Knox at BJ Rooster, and I came home. The next day when I woke up, I had a text message from Tamar at 10 in the morning that said, can you give me Dr. Heavenly phone number? I didn't think anything of it because people ask me for Dr. Heavenly phone number all the time. And it's typically when people have an emergency veneer situation. I did not think anything of it. People ask me for her number all the time. And then the next thing I know, folks is sending me this thing on the internet where the lady said she almost died and she was laying in a pool of blood. And I know some of y'all are gonna be committed to thinking
Get them
I'm
hearts
lying,
up.
and y'all gonna
Hearts
be
up.
committed to thinking I'm biased. And y'all are gonna be committed.
Get them
to
likes
thinking
up,
I'm
y'all.
covering up something, and I promise you, I swear to God, on my mother, I don't know what happened. I honestly don't. I don't know what happened, and that's the God honest truth. Now I know for some of y'all that's not gonna be good enough, but you're gonna have to make it enough. I promise you, on Isaac's life,
Ooh.
I don't know what happened. The lady ain't told me nothing.
Uh-oh.
The lady just said she needed Dr. Heavenly phone number. So that's that on that. I hope we can put that to bed. I know what y'all know. I can give y'all a little more detail.
Give us more,
the lady
honey. Give us
did
more.
Say, Q, I'm missing 4 teeth. And then I wrote back, I'm confused. So you just woke up and 4 of your teeth was missing, and the lady didn't respond. Okay? So I don't know what's going on with the lady mouth. That's all I know. If that ain't good enough for you, bitch, make it enough. Okay?
Well, if that ain't good enough for you, bitch, make it enough. That's what the man said. He said, if that ain't good enough for you, bitch, make it enough. Okay. So, before we get up out of here, I had to have a little commentary on this here. Yep, Sea Breeze. Yep, and yep. I love cussing. It makes my eyes twinkle. Yay, my pocket. No, that's terrible. Oh my God, I got a whole case in the Supreme Court and I be on YouTube cussing. And you better believe that the people gonna send these people the clips. I mean, you know, we live in a world where there's a whole lot worse shit going on, so I'm not that concerned. But anyway, let's get into this real quick. So it's interesting because Seabreeze 40 says, it seemed like people didn't like him calling her that lady and we are friends. And you just hit the whole nail on the whole head. Funky, I love ya. I mean, you know, industry love, right? I mean, you know, I love you. I love all of y'all. I love us. I love you. I love you. Baby, I love you. I do. More than you ever know. Come on, y'all. Okay, well, I'm going to stop singing. I ain't see no likes. Y'all like, bitch, be quiet. Anyway, you can always count on my love forevermore. I don't see no likes. Okay, I'm going to stop. That must mean y'all want me to sing for y'all then. Yeah, I think that most people would probably have to agree with UC Breeze. I think that is the reason why that is one of the big reasons why people are taking issue with this. Hey, Rodney Perry. Hi, brother. How are you? I think one of the big reasons why people are taking issue with this explanation, we'll call it, right? Explanation. Funky, I'm going to talk to your friend. They both look great in those pictures. I think we all kind of started to feel like Funky and Tamar were building this friendship, right? Because you've heard, if you watch him, which I do, you know, he is the king, should I say, of YouTube. Funky Dineva is the one, right? He is the one and the two and the three. So I think that we all kind of was feeling like they had, like, you know, a legitimate, you know, friendship. And when something this tragic happens to somebody, friend, when something so serious, like somebody saying that they almost lost their life and knocked out 4 of their teeth and lost the ability to move on one side, I believe. That's really serious, friend. That is a very serious, and it's interesting because I was watching a YouTuber and he made mention of what happened to Maxie, which I thought was, as much as it was triggering, right? Because it was very triggering. When Tamar posted that she fell, and when she used the words, "I fell, I almost lost my life, and my friends found me in a pool of blood." It was very triggering for me because it sounded very similar to what happened to my sister, Maxie. And I immediately went to a place of, oh my God, because she could have very well ended up being not different than Maxie. I don't know why she, and again, I'm not getting into any parts of, what happened with Maxie. That's not what this conversation is about. But the fact that she fell and she almost lost her life and it was an accident in her home, the parallels to Maxie are there. And terrible things happen to people all the time. Like, you could be walking down the stairs and fall. You could be, we don't know what happened. We have no idea. Okay, you saw that Forever Deshaun. It was Kempire. Okay, well, Kempire mentioned that. And that is the thought that I had. When you hear that a celebrity has fallen at home and they're in a pile of blood, you can't help but to think about that. And I could tell you from my own personal experience, it's nothing to take lightly. It's nothing to just brush off like it's nothing, right? Because again, we could have been getting a very different call. I believe that it was a little tone deaf, funky. I believe that the delivery was a little tone deaf. I believe what he said, right? We're cool. I've done his podcast, and we have developed a very cordial relationship, and I believe that he doesn't know what happened. I think that maybe it was a little bit of, maybe he didn't know the severity of it, or it was a little bit of a sort of knee-jerk reaction because he was getting a lot of people calling him, and it was just kind of like, look, I'm just gonna tell y'all, you know what I'm saying? You know how it is. Sometimes because of the heat of the moment and like, not really processing it the way that, please hit like, you guys, please give me likes, please give me hearts, please give me likes, please give me hearts. We are building a platform where you get an alternative and a more objective opinion of some of the headlines that are going on, right? From somebody who's a little closely connected to the industry. So just a little slightly more reliable on some levels anyway. Actually, yeah, I don't know, because these people be out here getting the information. I'm like, where you know that at? But my point is just, if you're someone's friend, right? I would hate to look back and to see someone that I went and celebrated their birthday with them. And this is not about me bashing Funky, because I almost, to be totally honest, when I saw it, I almost texted him like, don't respond no more to that, because that was a little tone deaf. And tone deaf is something that we can all be sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because for a plethora of reasons, right? We were not there. We don't know. What we do know is that we saw a video of Funky and Tamar looking like they were partying it up the night before. And for us to find out that after they had a party, and he said he left and dropped her off, they all got in, and we all do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, every time people go out, there's nothing suspicious about that. And again, he said that she said she told him that she lost 4 teeth, which is wow. But Dr. Heavenly is supposed to be, they call her Dr. Heavenly for a reason. So, she will probably, the cosmetic side of it, I'm sure that Tamar will heal just fine, and she will look as beautiful and stunning as always. But just what's scary is that she doesn't know, or that she does not remember what led to her ending up in that position. And that's what I want to talk about a little bit tonight, right? Yes, Funky, it was tone deaf, friend, and I think in hindsight, when he has a moment to kind of look back at it, he'll probably be like, you know what, actually, yeah, I could have probably delivered that with a little more care, right? Because that lady and the whatever was a little shady. right? I think we can all agree it was a little shady, but I don't think that that means that there's anything else to read into it, except that maybe he was just like, look, I'm tired of you guys and blah, 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 blah. And he said it. So that's my objective perspective on it. Ooh, I'm getting a little hot. I said I wasn't going to do a long-winded ass live. So, oh, God, every time I say it, I'm just going to stop saying that shit. I'm just going to stop saying it. Because every time I say I'm not going to do a long-winded live, this motherfucker ends up being 576,000 hours. But I'm going to say this and then I'm going to be done with it. Whew, after I cool off. Can I do a commercial, an ad real quick? If you haven't seen this, no, I'm not going to do an ad actually because I might get one for real. But baby, this fan is like a little blowtorch of cool air. It's so good. Okay. So let's talk real quick about Tamar not knowing what happened to her. You guys, I think it goes back to what we've been talking about. Please hit like and subscribe. Thank you so much for the reminder. Please hit like, share, and subscribe. We've been having this conversation. I'm just going to sweat on here because the fan is too loud. We've been having this conversation for a very long time, right? I lied. I'm going to use a fan. And talking about kind of like being too quick to come up with stories about why something happened to somebody. I saw a few people go into, the previous situation that Tamar shared with us, her mental health struggles, right? They drew some comparisons and some parallels to kind of what happened and how the friend found her. And see, that's when your husband loves you because he turned the air on. I just heard the air come on. I love you, honey. I love you so much. I got a good man. We ain't perfect, but perfect for me, baby. My man said, hurry up and get your ass off this live, and I'm going to give you some L. Okay, let me stop beating around the bush. Tamar Braxton has had some issues dealing with mental health challenges in the past, as many people have. And I think that people are immediately sort of going there. This could have been a seizure. This could have been her being a little tipsy because she was out celebrating and not realizing it and fell. This could be a multitude of things. I'm sure as time goes on and as more information is shared or provided, we'll have a better understanding, or not, because really it's none of our business. I mean, she did kind of make it our business when she shared with the world that this happened, but I think it was one of those things that she shared because, she has missing teeth and, it was a very serious thing. And sometimes if you don't get in front of these and just share it yourself, other people will share it, put it in the news cycle and live off of it like you were trying to run from it. And maybe I think she was trying to get in front of it by sharing it with us. So what she chooses to share, from this point on is entirely up to her. But I would encourage our community. This is one of those opportunities where we can really consider the fact that she's been transparent about some of the issues that she's had in the past. We could really consider the fact that she has a young son who I believe is maybe a preteen or, relatively young, but still knows and reads and watches. And you guys, we just really go hard on people who could really be, it could be a cry for help. It could be nothing. It could be a simple accident. But we just run with shit and we don't consider all the other people that are impacted by these stories that we create. And, even if whatever it is, whatever the situation may be. And I say this because when NICCI passed away, unfortunately, there was this lame ass story about her being in Denmark and falling at a soccer game or something. So there are always these, I want to be first and not factual, right? And, it's hard to state facts when you weren't there. And honestly, Funky Dineva said exactly what he was supposed to say, which is, I don't know what happened to the lady. So don't come over here asking me questions. She called me and said she needed Dr. Heavenly's number, which is not suspicious. I gave her Dr. Heavenly's number. I do think his response was, you just woke up and your teeth were falling out of your mouth. I mean, I think the easier thing to say is, oh my God, what happened? Are you okay? How did that happen? But to say, oh, you just woke up and your teeth fell out of your mouth was a little bit shady, which is probably why she didn't respond. And, he may not think so. He may not give a damn. But if you call somebody your friend and they've gone through something so serious as what Tamar has gone through, you have to act accordingly. And you have to have a little bit more grace, right? I'm asking us to have more grace with one another. You damn sure expect grace from somebody who considers themselves your friend. But that brings me to the big part of this conversation that I want to share with all of you, right? As a person, hi TikTok, I see y'all. Come on in here, TikTok. Oh, I didn't mean to switch Tamar out. Come on in here, TikTok. I see y'all. Oh Lord, I'm getting P Valley. This is why you surround yourself with good people. Yep, we about to get into it. Yep, my TikTok family. And she's very religious. Right. Okay, boom. Here we go. We about to get on into it. I like him, but saying that lady was hard. Right. Funky. Bad call. You should not have referred to her as that lady. Not at a sensitive time like this. My friend, I pray that she is well. Oh my God, you guys, I'm just as confused as you are, but it was insensitive. And here's the thing. I'm one to talk about being direct because I'm very direct. I have a very good friend who I always say is the person who will tell me as I am walking down the aisle, you shouldn't have wore that wedding dress. It's ridiculous. I could be walking down the aisle getting married and I have a friend who would be like, that dress, nigga, I'm going, right? But I'll be damned if I put out to the world that I almost came up out of here last night and lost my teeth and don't know how it happened. And you're like, well, that lady fell and that lady, that's insensitive. That is super insensitive. And I don't think that I'm not the person who believes you get a prize and you get a prize. Oh, you did so good and you get a prize. No, I don't believe we do first, second, third. It's first, second, third, runner up, whatever. But I think we have just really been desensitized, completely desensitized, because anytime somebody of Tamar Braxton's caliber tells the world that she almost came up out of here, the reason it hits so close to home is because that is how NICCI passed away. That is what the industry and the world knows is what took NICCI out of here. An accident at home. That is what's on the police report, an accident at home. And that very well could have been on a report for Tamar. So for us to make light of it and to speculate because this is the shit that I want everybody to really lean into. If it had actually happened that Tamar was no longer amongst the living, then everybody would be posting their pictures with her. Everybody would be talking about, as they should, honoring her and what she was funny and she was smart and she was talented and here go me and Tamar at this party and here go me and Tamar. If something more tragic had happened, it would have been a way different, global response to this. But because you are like, oh, she's okay, she's not, oh, well, maybe she did this and maybe it was that and maybe it was the other. And I believe that God brought Tamar to her knees to make her pay attention to the people around her. I believe that God, and I don't mean this specifically about Funky because I don't know what their relationship is, right? But I believe that God we just lost Malcolm Jamal Warner. Every day, it seems like every other day we're waking up and we're discovering that there are celebrities that, have come up out of here, right? And not that it's any different when it's a normal person, but it's just really terrible when we do this whole flood the internet with tributes and flood the internet with that was my friend and I loved her and oh my God and this and that and the third. But while people are here and alive, it's funny. It's, oh, well, she needs to stop hanging out with what was she taking? What was she doing? You guys, it could have been as simple as a fall down the stairs. It could have been as simple as she got faded and forgot she took a pain pill and took another one. I don't know. We don't know. We weren't there. It doesn't have to be anything nefarious. It doesn't have to be anything that serious. But what you do have to do, what you must do, is you must be careful about the company that you keep. You must be careful about needing professional help to address deep traumas and issues and self-medicating either in the form of relationships and yes people and, folks that make you feel warm and fuzzy for the moment who will leave you hanging in your darkest hour. Right? I'm not saying that that's what happened here. I'm just saying that I understand that in the entertainment industry, it's really hard to find loyal, genuine, real people. It's really hard to find, folks who really have your back, who are really in your corner, who really will show up for you in your darkest hour. And unfortunately, for Tamar to share something so difficult, something so serious, and to be met with this kind of mixed reaction from the general public and from people that are considered friends, I feel for her. And not just for her, I feel for most people in this industry. Think about it, you guys. A lot of celebrities have been down this road, Whitney Houston, you know what I mean? Michael Jackson, Prince, it was an accident in his house. You understand? Accidents and these things that just happen when nobody else is around, is a common situation when it comes to entertainment. People who are your friends, who, provide you with all the party favors. And again, I'm speaking generally, okay? Don't take this and do a cut and paste job and say that I'm saying this specifically about Tamar Braxton and Funky Dineva. What I'm saying is that it reminds me of so many other stories that we hear. Like I said, Maxie. You know what I mean? It reminds me of so many other stories. So I think it's super important for Tamar to get the help that she needs. She said that she is going to do that, and I'm praying for her. I'm truly praying that she gets it. It's really hard to be in the public eye, especially when your job depends on it. When your job is one of those things where you're required to act like everything is okay when your whole world could be falling apart. I don't think that Funky meant anything nefarious. I don't. I don't think that Funky really, thought out, his delivery. And again, we saw a portion of the clip, so we didn't see the whole video. And clips can come off real, somebody could take a 4 or 3 minute clip of me talking about something and be like, see, that bitch is exactly who she was on R&B Diva. She don't like, she's not a girl's girl. She's terrible. She's Cruella de Vil. You know what I mean? So we haven't seen the full picture. I have not seen the full thing, which is why tomorrow I'm going to talk about Monique and not today, because I definitely want to unpack that interview. But again, this could have been anything. She could have had a TIA, you know what I'm saying, which is a stroke, a mini stroke. She could have blacked out, you know what I'm saying? She looks great. Her body looks fantastic. She probably didn't eat. It could have been that. Look, she probably didn't eat. Now somebody go, Nikki Gilbert says she didn't eat. All I'm saying is that we don't know why the woman fell. We don't know. She does not know. She hasn't explained that. Just a little nosy says your friend celebrates you the day before she celebrates your birthday. Yeah, the video that we saw, and I think Funky, I think that's the thing that people are probably having the harder time processing. The fact that, you guys were just the night before walking hand in hand into a club as friends. Y'all was just kind of grinding up on each other and dancing. And again, I said a couple of nights ago, people will stand there and take a picture with somebody Or you'll see somebody walk into a space and you'll be thinking that they best of friends, and then people don't even know each other. It's just, plenty of times it's a celebrity thing to hang out with other celebrities that you really don't know. Maybe they were just getting to know each other. Maybe they were just establishing a friendship. But I do believe that it was a little it was a little tone deaf, funky. Justin said, I think Tamar needs to take a step back from the spotlight and heal, come back with an album tour and solely focus on her music. Wishing Tamar well. That's some really great advice. That's super sound advice. I'm gonna get onto some of these TikTok questions as well. Oh my gosh. She said, my homegirl found out she was a whole diabetic when we were in undergrad, and it was a symbol. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying, you guys. Black community, us people. One of my friends on TikTok said that her homegirl found out she was a whole diabetic from a similar situation, right? And she looks great. Listen, baby, Tamar is out there on them stages looking absolutely fantastic, sounding absolutely fantastic. And baby girl might just not have had enough carbs and might have just, you know what I mean? But if it is, let's get back to this comment from Justin Boyd, which I completely agree with, because I cannot find the clip now, but I talk about this clip. You guys, please hit like. A chair is still a chair, even when there's no one sitting there. Come on with them hearts, y'all. But a chair is not a house, and a house is not a home when there are two of us all fall apart, and one of us has a broken heart. Y'all, I can't sing it like I sang it on Martin because my grandson's asleep and I don't want to be all extra loud with my big ass mouth, but y'all get the picture. Thank you for the likes. But yeah, I do think that if she takes a step back, I think that this is the moment. They say God brings you to your knees to make you pay attention. Thank y'all. Now I got everybody talking about that Martin episode. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Don't y'all miss Luther? Oh my God, I miss Luther. Luther's another example. At home. Oh my God. Luther had, I don't know if he had an accident at home. I think he, unfortunately, I guess if he passed away, it was an accident at home, but it has something to do with his diabetes. Someone says, what happened with Tamar? It's just an update on what happened yesterday. Tamar was found, unfortunately, not unresponsive, actually. Someone found her in a pool of BLOOD, and she had missing teeth and she had a fractured nose and she was unable to move. And what we are discussing is the fact that her, friend Funky Dineva was a little insensitive. You guys, please make sure you hit like, share, subscribe, and follow. This is turned into a 2-hour live anyway. The game is free. All I need is a couple of hearts here and there. Margaret Misher says, and he was mad when she had him waiting on her for 3 hours while she was doing an interview. It was supposed to be doing the interview. Oh, okay. Okay. I don't know about all the, I'm not buying right now, you guys. I'm not buying that there was anything nefarious connected to, Tamar yet. I don't know that, it was anything nefarious. I think that, we probably are reading more into it than actually happened. I hope it's more like my sister here on TikTok says, which is that, she unfortunately maybe discovered that she got low blood sugar or low blood pressure, or maybe she didn't eat enough or whatever, and she fell. But whatever it is, we are praying for Tamar, praying super, super hard for Tamar. Tamar's had a tough time, you guys. Tamar has had a tough time, and she doesn't strike me as, I love all the Braxtons, all of them. They're wonderful women. And just think about her family, her sisters. They lost their sister, Tracy, to cancer. I know I lost my sister to cancer in March 23rd, brain cancer. We're doing, FYI, real quick plug before I get off here. We're doing a walk It is Head for the Cure. You can find the link in my bio, you guys. It is for a cure for brain cancer. My sister did it with us last year, and unfortunately, she is not with us in the physical, but she's with us in spirit. So I just thought about that. Hey, 111 on TikTok, 111 followers. That's Maxie's birthday, 111. 111 people on live on TikTok. I appreciate that. And we got a nice little crowd over here on Insta, Twitter, and on the WIRF.TV YouTube. If you're watching us on WIRF.TV YouTube, please do me a kind favor and hit like, share, and subscribe. So I don't want to read too much into the Tamar Braxton situation and Funky Dineva, because I do believe that this is just a simple accident, right? I don't think there's much more to read into it, at least until we hear, from the horse's mouth. At some point, either cameras in the house or somebody, we'll find out. But yeah, it sounds to me like she just fell head first, right? If she fractured her nose and she knocked out her teeth and she was in a pool of blood, that could have been from her teeth. It could have been from her nose. I hope it's not something more serious, right? So, Miss NICCI, I know you'll discuss this tomorrow, but I have some insight on the topic. What topic is that? I'm going to get into the Monique and Tyler Perry thing tomorrow, you guys, at 10:30 on Nights with NICCI. Like I said, Monique is my girl. She can do no wrong as far as I'm concerned. When she says we ride, I say, what time? At dawn? Let's go. But I do want to have an objective opinion on the conversation that she had with T.S. Madison. Gloria says, I didn't have brain cancer, but I had a tumor that made me, oh my God, go blind, but God restored me. God bless you. God bless you. That's what I'm saying. You guys, there's a lot of health stuff going on out here, okay? I love you too, Alabama. I love you. I love you. I love you. I think that this is a case of something a lot less sinister than because I'm not thinking it's anything sinister. I'm thinking it's just, I hope she's healthy. And I think the best advice, who was this? Let me give credit where credit is due. Justin, the best advice was, I think Tamar needs to take a step back from the spotlight and heal, come back with an album and a tour. And listen, this is what I'm going to say as we wrap this thing up. I've always believed that God will bring you to your knees to make you pay attention. In those moments, this is fucking a 2-hour live. Y'all let me sit on live for 2 hours like a crazy lady. Y'all better go on and hit them likes and stop playing with me, because this live has been 2 hours. And this is crazy. And y'all got brownstone questions. I'll do a Q&A tomorrow. I'm doing Monique tomorrow. I'll do a Q&A maybe Friday. But here's the thing. God will bring you to your knees to make you pay attention. If you are moving too fast, if you are doing too much, if there is the possibility that you could have ended up losing something as serious as your life, God, this was a warning. This was a sign from God that to slow down, to do some self-inventory, to reevaluate and recalibrate, and really get a clear understanding of your friends and your friend group and the people that you have around you, and understand that, life is short and you have to really take it very seriously. I've had a lot of loss and a lot of grief, whether it is losing loved ones and people I care about, whether it's losing litigations, whether it is the risk of losing everything we own because these people, these bullies, have whatever it is. My point is just, sometimes God brings us to our knees to make us take stock of where we are, to make us really evaluate what we need to change and what we need to improve and how we need to heal and to grow. And I pray that Tamar Braxton takes a step back and makes this some really great music and spends some really great quality time with her son and her family and her people. I pray that Funky learns from this delivery. It says a lot. How you say things is really important. Right? How you say things is really important. It is not always what you say. A lot of times it is how you say it. It is a lesson that I had to learn myself. Sometimes we use the excuse of keeping it real and just being straightforward and just being somebody who don't beat around the bush. And sometimes that shit can still be refined and said a different way. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you guys. I've gotten so many compliments on TikTok for my hair and how well I'm aging. I'm 55, y'all. Hi, friends. I love you. My best friend just popped up on here. I'm about to get off, T. I'm about to get off. I love you so much. Kiss my girls. I've been on here for 2 long ass hours. You know your long-winded ass friend. But I feel like it was a good one. Do you guys feel like it was a good one? Please give me some hearts if you feel like it was a good one. Hey, Timothy Ellerby, I see you. Please give me some hearts if you feel like we had a good show tonight. You guys, thank you. I appreciate you guys for liking my natural gray. I've been thinking about going to the Beijing, but I think I'm going to stay there. Oh, Gloria, you're 55 too. Oh, that's awesome. My BFF is 55 too. All right, you guys. I watched Angie Martinez's interview with Tamar. Yeah. Tamar has been very vocal. You guys, listen. Let's applaud her. Let's give Tamar some love. Tamar. Let's give Tamar some love. Let's give Tamar some love for being brave enough. I'm coming, babe. I know it's been 2 hours. My husband like, knock, get off. But he done turned off the air because he know my ass starts sweating. I'm really going to turn these lights off and shut this shit down. But I will say this. She has done something that a lot of people are afraid to do, right? Tamar has shown her vulnerability to us time and time again. Nobody's perfect. Nobody makes all the right decisions. Nobody understands the right thing to do all the time. But Tamar has been honest and real and transparent enough with us to say, hey, listen, I'm having mental health struggles. Hey, listen, y'all, I don't even know how this shit happened. But I fell and I broke out all my teeth and I know I need to take a step back. There's so many people out there right now, either people that we love or us as individuals. People are struggling in these motherfucking streets right now. I'm sorry. I had to say it like I felt it. We struggling out here. So for someone to be honest and real and transparent enough, right, to tell us what they're going through, even when it is unpretty, even when you like, well, damn, she could have maybe not TMI a little bit. You don't know who might be going through something similar. You don't know what young girl went out to the club and blacked out and like, how did I end up here and what happened? You don't know what. So the fact that we're having conversations about how serious it is to have people around you that make sure you get in the crib okay, make sure you get into bed okay, make sure that hey girl, you home, you good, you whatever. That's what we got to get back to. We all went to college and did dumb shit. Like I went to college and had so many drinks that I said I would never ever drink again. I was going to be like the people who came onto this live earlier, just not drinking and shit, because we've all had that moments. I'm never having another drink again. I'm not saying this is what happened with Tamar. Hello, disclaimer. I'm just saying we've all been there, and there's nothing like when you are in that space where you done had too much to drink, where you throwing up, where you out of it, having somebody there to pull your hair back, to give you a cold towel, to tuck you in and be like, you're gonna be okay, sis. And I think that is what we need to give Tamar in a not literal but figurative sense. Let's give her the pullback of the hair, the cool rag, and you gonna be okay, sis. And let's thank God that she's still here. Because when you found out that another person had an accident at home and was laying in a pool of blood, it was Maxie, and she's no longer here with us. So I have a much different perspective on what happened with Tamar. And to my friend Funky Dineva, who I do consider a friend, right? In a casual sense. Bro, it's just, it was a little tone deaf. That's all. It was just a little tone deaf, and clean up your delivery. But for now, I'm going to wrap this thing up. I'm not going to let the 2 hour, it turned into the 2 hour mark. I was trying to get off this shit before it was 2 hours. You guys, I promise I'm not crazy. I just love y'all and I enjoyed the conversation. So if you enjoyed the conversation, please make sure that you hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Please make sure that you tell a friend to tell a friend. Real quick, let me show y'all this here cash app. Oh, I got to do this real quick before I get off. I know my husband is mad as hell. Guys, please, if you can, go to fromthebottomupfoundation.org, fromthebottomupfoundation.org. We are kicking off the very first Creatives Equality Awareness Month. It is kicking off in September. Every Sunday in September, we are doing at From the Bottom Up Foundation's webpage, we're doing conversations with creatives about how we can improve opportunities, access to resources to create, access to attorneys, understanding the importance of copyright and trademark and all that other stuff. We're going to have some really amazing attorneys and some educators and some folks in the industry. So please do me a kind favor and go to fromthebottomupfoundation.org, and you can register now to be a part of those conversations. You have to register to be a part of those conversations. So please do that. You guys, one brick at a time, we are trying to rebuild the narrative in our community. I'm fully committed to it, and I thank you guys for joining me for Nights with NICCI. Please pray for Tamar. Please pray for the white people who don't understand that sometimes privilege is a form of racism, especially if you don't check it. Please make sure you vote Mary Sheffield in the Detroit elections. Bravo. Once again, let's give a round of applause to Jennifer Hudson and anybody else who has never had a cocktail, because baby, the way people falling out and whatnot, I think we should all stop drinking. What else will we talk about tonight? Thank you, Abby Phillips, for course correcting Jillian Michael. And shout out to the president or the CEO of Target who effed around and found out that we are not to be played with when we come together and we decide that enough is enough. Economic protests can lead to change. And honestly, to me, I think the lesson in that is the most effective way. Because one thing that the corporations and the people with all the money don't like to do is they don't like to lose money. And they will fire each other on the count of one of them making a decision that causes the others to lose some loot. So we understand now, just like we talked about Detroit's Housewives League. Yes, Mayor Sheffield for mayor of Detroit. Just like we talked about the Detroit Housewives League, we understand now more than ever that the power in the minority and BIPOC and Black and DEI community is in our ability to not support what does not support us. And not supporting comes in the form of keeping your money in your pocket until you can buy something from somebody who is not selling you a bag of coal and instead pouring into your community. Shout out to Rashawn Ali. I'm sipping out of my cool Soror cup. And I will see y'all tomorrow on Nights with NICCI. Hopefully not 12 hours. Thank you, TikTok. Please, you guys, make sure I hit like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the likes. I love you. And good night, my loves. Come on, Kato, say good night. Come say good night to the people. Come on. Come on, say good night to the people. Come on, say good night. Oh, she say good night. Good night. Y'all gotta, come on. Come on, say good night. He said good night. Y'all see this thing? Y'all see this thing? Okay. He's a killer. Don't come over here unannounced. All right, bye.